Hello everyone, I am Tacit, and today I'm going to be going over a bunch of changes as of version 7.2 of Gems of War, the Hidden Treasures. So the full changelog will be in the description below if you want to go check it out, but we'll just be covering all the more important things. The most noteworthy thing that you have probably seen as soon as you come in is a ton of UI changes. They have menus within menus, and I would say the most useful thing out of all these changes is all the way in the top right. You can now get to your inventory. Of course, before, to get to your inventory, and you still can get there that way, you click on your hero, you click on inventory, and you're here. However, they have now put this all the way in the top right. Unfortunately, it doesn't show glory here anymore. However, you can see all your resources here, including your glory, as well as whatever you do want to see. Like, for example, if you don't want to see all your Soulforge stuff, you can just collapse it, and you're good to go. So yeah, you can just have whatever options you want to see the most of. We have our deeds here just so we can keep up with them, the verses because we have a vault event this weekend, and then, you know, just your general resources, which you probably always want to keep up. One thing that you might notice here that's actually a new resource is lanterns. Lanterns from Underspire, as a lot of this update did have to do with things with Underspire, basically just tweaks and such to it, now carry over from week to week. So if you have any spare lanterns that you end up buying, or end up getting from the new room that you can end up getting in your dead ends, you can now carry them over to future weeks. So if you had like 3 of them, but you only want to use 2 on like the gold and silver medals, and then save the other one for the following week, well, you can do something like that. So that's going to make stalling the lanterns a little bit better for all those reward rooms, saving them for all of the stronger ones that we have available. With that being said, let's actually get into a couple of the changes that end up happening here. Basically, they ended up making dead ends have a chance of these new treasure rooms. These treasure rooms can come in any rarity, all the way from common up to mythic. And of course, the higher the rarity of the treasure room, the more likely you'll be able to get the better loot. And some of the better loot would probably only be in some of the higher tiered rooms. There are quite a bit of different loots that you can end up getting, ranging from things like torches, which would help pay back for the dead end that you already hit. Lanterns, which is huge, because not only do they carry over from week to week now, but of course they can double loot of a single room. So these could be double silver medals, these could be double pet orbs. Obviously, you most likely, if you're already going that deep, getting the double gold, but you'll be able to get it for all the other really useful loots as well. Random trinkets, dragonite, jewels, trade stones, vault keys, and the such. But by far the biggest ones that you're looking for are the legendary troop drops, and the lanterns are by far the biggest two. There are 6 new legends that end up coming in through this. I'm not sure if they fixed the unowned issue. There's quite a few bugs. There we go. They did fix the weird unowned issue that was happening here. But here are the 6 things that you can end up getting from the new Underspire dead ends. Exactly what their drop rate is, I have no clue. Hopefully we'll get one soon, but they're pretty average. They're nothing too particularly special. They end up exploding a column, then gain a bunch of life, and if the enemy is cursed, it'll also create 8 giant color gems related to their color. So red, yellow, green, blue, brown, and purple. They also all have double damage versus curse enemies, 50% score reduction, and a special final effect based on what they are. So they will either curse and then do a additional effect when enemies deal scroll damage to them. And what that additional effect is based on what they are. So this one is red, so it does burn. This one is yellow, so it does stun. Green, entangle. Blue, freeze. Brown, web. And purple, disease. So they're okay. They're very specific. Probably only going to be really used in pure color teams that want to be like super pure color. Like with Vespera potentially wanting like a yellow or blue one. As well as other similar teams where they might want to draw from something that only uses one very specific color. Otherwise, they can be a general tank on curse-related teams if you already have a lot of curse. Can end up synergizing with them. For the most part, they're probably not going to get used too much, but they are all potentially usable and are also all constructs with a secondary typing, with that construct being able to have that 50% mana start with the Geomancer hero class. So they have a little bit of potential, probably won't use too much, but if nothing else, they are a Kingdom Star for all of those corresponding kingdoms. Anyways, as far as the Underworld itself, we actually do have, or Underspire, I mean, we do have a battle queued up. So I had a ultra rare one right here, and then end up getting 2 of those little upgrade thingies, which I don't even think even shows here, because somehow we got like reset on top of the reset. So a lot of glitches been going on that we'll hopefully have all sorted out within the next week or so. But yeah, I think we got like 2 resistance trinkets from it on stream last night, and now I have 0. I did not use any of them. They're just gone. But anyways, let's hope we get something better from this one. So this was an ultra rare room. I'm not sure if you could really tell based on that blue there or anything. But that was an ultra rare rarity one, and this one looks like a common based on its coloration, which means we're going to get absolutely pitiful loot here. However, that's going to not stop us from trying to see if we actually can get something here, so let's go to this battle and see what we get. This is the lowest rarity one, so I'm not expecting much, but who knows, maybe we'll get the legends. I'm not sure if they're evenly weighted on all the rarities, or, you know, if their higher rarity will mean higher chance for legends. Presumably so. Higher rarity would have the higher chance of all the better loot. Let's just see what we get here. That's just the general loot, so let's see what we get from the thing. It should end up making a chest here. As we can see, we have a common level chest, and let's see what we get. And we got 20 shards, so that's what, 2 diamonds? Overall, not the worst possible thing, I guess. 2 diamonds, still 2 diamonds. Obviously, if this was a standard dead end, we would have gotten absolutely 0. But instead, we get 2 diamonds there. So obviously, loot for the lower rarity ones is not too good, but you're mostly looking for the legends. You're mostly looking for those lanterns, as every single lantern you ever get from them, of course, is basically like a double silver or a double pet orb, or, you know, additional one, I should say. Since you're already getting the base one, you just get an additional one on top of it. So there are a few good loots, but they're probably far and few between. And you're also mostly looking for the legends from them, so you could finish maxing out every single one of the kingdoms. As far as other things that ended up coming in version 7.2, of course, most of it was centered around that, basically making the dead ends and Underspire more rewarding, as well as Underspire just in general more rewarding. As far as other things, they've added some new offer systems. For example, being able to get like any of the pets. Now you can end up getting it for any of them, not just the cosmetic ones. So now we can end up getting it for things like the Infernus and stuff like that, like those mythic ones. Like, for example, as far as ones that I'm missing. Before, things like Infernus Imp or Tina's Toy wasn't able to go and roll in that. These are the ones that were the money-locked mythic ones that had like a $5 buy-in initially that you could still earn and still can earn for free right now. But I have just gotten so unlucky on them, so if we ever want to, there's like a $2 offer now, and they can end up appearing there, whereas they couldn't before. So obviously $2, quite cheaper than $5, though of course you could still get it for free, but they seem to be pretty rare. They never want to show up for me, at least. But that's like another alternative now. The other 2 offers, not really that worth it. I would just get it if you just need the 1 copy to be able to get the first offer there. They added some other offer too that you can pretty much ignore. No need to really go for that one. It's just a bunch of random loot that you don't really ever need to go for. It's the Lucky Lamp one. You can just ignore it completely. Not worthwhile. New world map UI, we kind of already went over this, but yeah, the most noteworthy thing, of course, being the thing right over here, where we can end up seeing all of our loot nice and organized all the way from the main menu without having to menu through like a billion menus to end up getting there, like we had to before. Now you just one click on the starting menu, really easy to see, really easy to check whatever resource you need to do. So that's pretty nice. Aside from that, anything else of very high noteworthiness here? They also changed the order, by the way. It's now in this order. They kind of changed up how the categories work a little bit and changed up the order just to make it so the more used ones are a little bit more towards the top, and the ones that you don't really care about looking at for the most part are more towards the bottom. They added 3 new achievements. We ended up getting defeat 3 guardians in Underspire. Should be pretty easy. I already found 2 within 2 sections. There seems to be at least 1 guaranteed in each section, and from what I've heard before, though I haven't found it yet, there seems to be more than 1 potentially per section, though I've personally only seen 1 per section so far. But there seems to be at least a guaranteed 1 and potentially more, question mark, per each section. So it should be really easy to hit 3 if you normally go through the whole thing. You should naturally hit this without even trying. 100 Hourglass Gems is a little bit more annoying, but as long as you just use a Throw, a Marilith, or anything similar that has Mass Destroy, you would eventually just get it if you just do enough battles. So you can kind of force spawn that. We don't currently have a way to create Hourglass Gems, though we'll be getting plenty during the season. So this will be one that you'll naturally get over time, or you can just rush it now if you want to. And aside from that, this is one that a lot of people probably already have. If you've been as a guild going through all the events, but basically upgrade 8 troops to shiny level 1. The easiest way to go about this, if you haven't already, is to go to the current event, help out your guild with the event as the 12th reward here. We end up getting 5 shiny tokens, as you can see. And this applies to pretty much all the weekly events that we have as a guild these days. So if your guild is capable of reaching to that point, you will get those 5 shiny tokens, and each time you do that, that'll be 1 step closer to be able to go and finish out 8 troops. To be shiny level 1, as 5 tokens is enough to get them to shiny level 1, so I'll be able to get them up pretty quickly. Aside from that, some general changes. Most noteworthy thing here is you can no longer accidentally use your entire Palooza stack. They've probably gotten hundreds of support tickets of people accidentally using their entire stack of Paloozas, and now it is impossible to do so. The most Paloozas you could ever use at one time is now 4. So instead of accidentally using 50 or 100 or any other number, You can now only use a maximum of 4 at any given time, which of course is 1 hour of Palooza. So this shouldn't really change anything. Normally you want to use Paloozas 1 at a time anyway, so you can get the extra loot at the end, which at this point seems to be a mechanic and not a glitch, as they have not fixed it after billions of patches at this point. So, but yeah, it's capped to 4 now, so you'd most likely still want to be using them 1 at a time, but you can no longer accidentally misclick your whole stack, so that's nice. Aside from that, any other noteworthy thing? As far as bug fixes, most noteworthy bug fix is actually with Underspire. They basically fixed it so you can no longer... Is that the right one? No, that's not the right one. Somewhere's in here with Underspire. But basically, you can no longer copy-paste to get any weapon in. Since Underspire has existed, there has been a bit of a glitch with it where you can copy-paste in a team that has a different weapon and it will allow you to use whatever weapon you want. For example, you could run Wand on every single Underspire up to this point, or Dawnbringer, or Black Manacle, or anything else. Regardless if it was in the Kingdom. You always had to use the Kingdom troops, but the weapon was kind of exploitable. Now you can't do that anymore. You now have to use the corresponding weapon. So that's pretty much how most people have already been playing it, of course, but now you are forced to have to, if you were using the glitch, to use any weapon you wanted to. So you do have to use the Kingdom's corresponding weapon now. Like, for example, this week is Drifting Sands, so you have to use a Drifting Sands weapon along with your 3 troops. So they ended up fixing that glitch, and aside from that, they have a bunch of known issues, and that's not even every known issue. I'm pretty sure there's like 20 more to add to that list. That's just what they initially knew about, but there is far more than that as far as glitches. Like, technically, the event double resetting for the Underspire and stuff like that. But anyways, that's everything for 7.2. A little bit of a smaller patch, mostly UI, and obviously making Underspire a bit more rewarding. Supposedly 7.3 is supposed to be a bigger patch. What exactly that will entail, who knows? But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful week, a wonderful Halloween coming up. If you still have any other questions, feel free to leave in the comment section below. Full changelog, if you want to see it in entirety, is linked in the description if you want to go and read through it all yourself. And I'll catch you all later. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching.